Hi everyone, so this is an eye review for Leah. Leah definitely has true blue eyes, and in this eye, this is an easy way to tell. I think most people can tell that and would agree with me that you can see clearly. This is actually a very good example of what happens in the eye. In other eyes that I review, it's almost the same situation, but they're a little bit more congested and you can't see that clearly. But here you can really see. So even if you're not Leah and you're just watching this eye review, use this as a good example of how to look at eyes. So we can see that around the pupil, which is the black part in the middle, obviously, you can see the brown buildup. And it's very, very clear in this eye. Now, the brown buildup is also in a circular form. That is where the GI tract starts and ends, is around the pupil. Just like this, just like the brown is, that's your GI ring. Then past that, depending on which part of the iris it's in, those are the different organs. Just to like take a look at an iridology chart, just type into Google iridology chart and you'll see what I'm talking about visually. I just, it takes too long for me to splice the videos together with the iridology chart and all that. I have too many to release. Um, but take a look and you'll see it there. So her GI tract is really kind of has a lot of gunk sitting on top of it, which is not a good thing because if your GI tract is not in a really, really good condition, that means when you are eating foods, they're not absorbing as they should. So, for example, you're eating very expensive fruits or vegetables, all organic, all perfect. Well, guess what? They're coming in one end, going out the other. They're not absorbing as they could be absorbing. They're absorbing some, of course, but they're not absorbing to the degree that they could be. So it's very important to make sure that your GI tract is in a really good shape. And to do that, you can either take it slow by just, eating the right foods, and as you have the right foods going through your system, no more toxins is building up, and with the process of movement of the foods, stuff is going to start to kind of come out from the walls and just kind of dissipate. And fruits are specifically very good at pulling the toxins out. So if you're eating a lot of fruits, that will really help you to speed up the process and get a detox. Not even speed up the process, but just to detox. Because if you're eating anything else, you won't detox in a very, very quick amount of time. And by quick, I mean still like a year. I don't mean like instantly. But, it didn't take you a year to get to this point, so it takes a while. So, but that's your number one priority right now, the most important thing. And if you guys look at your eyes, and like if you're not Leah and you're just watching this review, right? And you look at your eye and you see the brown, like a darker brown around the pupil, you need to get that out. Okay, so I think Dr. Morse sells GI Broom. There's colon cleansing, like different things for colon cleansing. You need to clean out your GI, clean out your colon as much as you possibly can. Now, don't go too aggressive because there's good bacteria that's in there. You don't want to, keep cleaning it out and washing it out. So um, you have to know your limit with that. But be very focused on what you're eating so you're not adding to the toxins that are already there. Because what happens with the GI is the toxins stay in the walls of the GI. Okay, so basically your whole GI tract is kind of covered in this like mucousy stuff. So instead of absorbing nutrients, if you're eating fruits, for example, right, you're supposed to be absorbing nutrients. Well, you're absorbing nutrients and that mucousy stuff that's been built up in there from all of the foods. So it's like you're introducing toxicity into your body, not only through maybe not some of the best choices of food that you're eating, but through all this old stuff as well, you know? So that's why it's monumentally important. Now, like more towards the outer edges of the iris, we can see that she's got a little bit of a nerve ring happening, and that's again because of the buildup. The nervous system is probably not functioning as it should. We can also see that this is actually a very good example of this as well. That do you see how that same GI ring that we were just talking about going around the pupil, do you see how it extends a lot further up right above the pupil than it extends down right below the pupil? See, this is for some reason, I don't know why. If I find out, I'll tell you guys. But when GI gets really gunked up, it goes to the brain, you know? And the brain area is right above the pupil, okay? So, well, right above the pupil, above the GI ring, that's the brain area. So just past the GI ring, between GI ring and, the rest of the iris, whatever is left on the top, that's your brain area. And as you can see in this particular case, it's almost all brown. So that means, she can be experiencing headaches, mood swings, depression, anxiety, just basically anomalous workings of the brain. Like the brain is functioning, but it could be better. She could be more alert, maybe something like that. Nothing is, dramatic and severe, but at the same time, it could be a lot better. And for some reason, it's the same thing for me as well. It just goes to the brain. I don't know what it is. And my eyes are very kind of similar in the way her, kind of congestion is positioned. Mine are in the same kind of, we're all pretty much in the same boat. If you guys, the funny thing is, like, if you guys notice all of my iridology reviews, do you notice how similar all of the eyes look? That's because most people are having blue eyes, well, not most people, but I guess a lot of the people who email me, they know kind of instinctively that something's wrong. They know that they're not eating right. Maybe they know that they were born with blue eyes too, and they just want to confirm that. And we're all eating pretty much, meat and potatoes. That's what most people are brought up on. Some salad, some fruit here and there, but cereals, all this stuff. So our eyes look very similar to each other because the situations that we're coming from are very similar. The stress levels are very similar from person to person in today's world, right? So, but anyways, as usual, I digress. But actually, the good news is with this eye that you can see that past the GI ring, it's not that gunked up. Like there are areas that are like brown spots, but generally speaking, there's a lot of light parts still, and that means that it's not fully like all around the organs. There's just, the organs are being affected. It's getting to that point where you need to turn around and go the other way, but it's not quite there yet. So it's good that you're catching it at the right time. You're, obviously, messaging me, being proactive about it. It's really, really good. So just keep it up and keep going with it. And you'll see that the blue will start to come in. So right now, well, the way it goes is we'll go to green, and green is just basically blue with yellow lymph on top. And then it will start to go to blue. Now, the last thing you're gonna see move is again this GI because it's so congested. It's basically just like you see on the outer part of the iris, not like the very outer, but like I guess the middle part of the iris. It's like a yellowy green. Well, it's the same yellowy green around the GI, but just layered one on top of the other until it gives you that dark brown color or darker brown color. So since that one is just so much more intense, it's going to be the last one to leave. So you could end up in a situation, if you keep going with the detox, where you'll have blue on the outside and brown on the inside of the eye, right? Like closer to the iris, you'll still, or closer to the pupil, you'll still have a little brown, and closer to the outer edge, you'll have blue. So because it seems like that's where it's going. It's all going to go away, but just the part closest to the pupil will be last to go, unless you really heavily detox your GI, which I do recommend looking into it anyways. Don't do too heavy because that's not good, but look into it. Anyways, that was the review. If you guys have any eye pictures you would like to send me, please do so. I'll link all of that down below. And again, guys, see, this is a really good eye picture. As you know, like some reviews are short and some reviews are long, and if I have a blurry picture, there's only so much I can say about it because I'm not seeing probably any more than you're seeing because the picture is so blurry. So please guys, try to send me really good pictures and then I'll give you guys a really long, really good review. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.